Alright guys, so I am going off to a whiskey festival today, so I'm hoping that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm meeting my friend Brandon, and I believe his girlfriend Kelly is going to join us, so let's go check it out. Now, I'm not expecting to get any like really old or rare whiskeys at this event, just because it is a fairly cheap entry fee. It's $20, and it's 100 whiskeys, but they didn't release a list. I reached out to the organizers to find out, like, are there going to be brand reps there that I'll be able to talk to or interview for you guys, and they never got back to me about it. This is only the second year they've done it, so I'm not really sure how organized it's going to be either. But anyway, I'm hoping to at least try some different stuff for you guys. With 100 whiskeys from all over the world, Ireland, Japan, Scotland, America, there's going to be stuff there that I haven't tried and that I've wanted to for a while. Alright guys, so this is my friend Brandon. Been wanting to bring him on the channel for a while. And what are we drinking?
What are we drinking? We are drinking the Widow Jane American Oak? No, we're drinking the Applewood Rye.
Yep.
Applewood Rye.
And then his girlfriend Kelly has the, what is it? The regular Widow Jane, right? From the short squatty bottle. She's liking that. And this is actually really good. I don't think it's like that much like rye.
No, not so much. It's a little
more
thinner.
like apple.
It's much closer to apple, absolutely. The mouthfeel is thinner than I expected, honestly.
What's the, does it say the proof on here?
Nope. It does not.
Have to go check. But yeah, I mean, it's good. But it doesn't have that like spicy rye aroma.
It does not.
Really at all. So we've got about 100 whiskeys here, and I think they're almost all American. We've got some Scotch, so I will definitely be hitting up the Compass Box blends. Those are really good because I've only had the Spice Tree from them, and otherwise there's a couple Japanese, like the Nikka coffee grain. We're gonna try for you guys, and it is way too windy for these sheets.
For these little sheets, for sure.
The sheets are just blowing away. So hopefully the audio won't be
completely windy.
Problem, of course, is we're gonna have to limit ourselves.
How many we got? Because, like you said, we have 100. We have 100 possible bottles here today.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pick and choose, for sure.
It's but we've got 4 hours, so I think we'll be good. Yeah, this is, I don't know, it doesn't, I wouldn't guess it was a rye. It tastes more like a really light apple flavored whiskey.
Really, really light.
But the rep did say that they don't add apple flavoring, they're actually using Applewood staves cut in a honeycomb pattern. Is that
That's what he said, in a honeycomb pattern. So I guess it increases surface area for the...
I feel like that's kind of pointless, but I mean, compared to just using like the, I don't know, I can't really imagine that mattering much.
I mean, arguably, it does infuse the whiskey with the flavor, so I mean, it's noticeable. So.
It doesn't taste like, it's not like Jack Daniels. The Jack Daniels stable is right behind us. It's not like the Jack Daniels like crappy flavor though, so I mean that's good. It's actually really nice, but
I'm not getting much of a nose from this, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
because the glass is so gigantic.
It's pretty much just the apple.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should nose it in the tiny glasses.
The tiny little plastics.
Yeah, but then you smell the plastic. That's the problem. Like.
It may also be that there's just not much of a nose to this.
Yeah.
It really is kind of, it's almost a one horse show. It's like apple. There you go.
I feel a little ridiculous with such a large glass.
These are absolutely absurd.
But
best we can do.
It's better
for
than
the
little
event.
Plastic glasses here.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna get mad if I use this as a spit bucket.
They probably wouldn't be thrilled. Especially, it's like, well, can we have the ashtray? Yeah, it's filled with high proof alcohol. Well, I want to be careful.
But what are we supposed to do for the ones that
are terrible? There you go.
There you go. Now we got to use.
This is why we need the ladies
for the plastic cups. All right. So what should we go get next?
All right. That's a good question. Let me take a look at the list here and see.
Have you tried Glendronach 12-year-old?
I don't think so.
You should try that. That's really good.
The Glendronach? All right.
I used to have a bottle of it. It's gone.
Oh, it's that good.
Yeah,
It's that good. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go get that.
We'll be back.
And water. Malt Mondays waits for no one.
Fair
it's
enough.
almost Monday, right? So this one we have is the Quiet Man 8-year-old.
8-year-olds.
And the rep didn't know who's distilling it.
We are
so-
assuming it's Bushmills.
Right, because it's single malt. And he actually had a new Irish whiskey, Sexton, over there as well that we'll probably go right back for.
Apparently, it's the only
Like this.
female master distiller.
Yep, exactly.
So exciting news.
In Ireland.
Yes, in Ireland.
I don't know
In
about
Ireland.
Scotland. I haven't heard of any female master distillers in Scotland.
That doesn't mean there aren't any.
That doesn't mean there aren't any. All right, so let's. Ooh, it smells good.
I really like this.
Now, which one did you get?
The
The Une? Une?
like maple.
Oh, right, the Akashi Ume plum.
Ah, okay, Akashi. That's what I was thinking of. I've had that before.
They had two. They had white bottle and the red bottle.
Yeah, I think they've got just regular whiskey and then the
Oh, the
plum
Ume
one.
plum. Okay, so I haven't had that one. I've had the regular Akashi. Too busy smelling it. So the regular Akashi, I think, is kind of terrible. Like it's pretty harsh.
Nothing but the truth.
But-
You wouldn't like this one because it's syrupy sweet. This is a whiskey I could drink a lot.
Oh, really? Ooh, this smells nice. This is like really like a Glenfiddich style, like pear and apple.
I miss my proper glass because I've become so accustomed to getting that
With the-
particular
yeah.
nose.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that I'm getting a lot of the grain.
Yeah, it's definitely malty.
Yeah.
Artificial liquid smoke. Oh yeah, like for fog machines.
No, like the barbecue sauce, like the just that you drop in where it's like,
called liquid smoke.
Really?
yeah.
And it's basically artificial smoke.
Oh, almost any sauce you get off of the shelf, it actually has liquid smoke in it to make it taste more barbecue-y.
Okay, so I saw this thing. This company came out with smoked water for. Okay, so there's this chef in France that was like, I need to know a better way to smoke my picoya. What's that grain?
Quinoa?
Quinoa?
Ah,
Something
okay.
like that. Yeah. So he's like, I need a better way to smoke my quinoa for this dish. So he's famous enough that a company developed smoked water for him so that when he cooks it, it smokes it. And this stuff costs as much as scotch. It costs like $50 a bottle.
I would love to know what they're doing because as far as I could guess, they're literally just infusing it with smoke.
They're literally, yeah, they're charring an oak barrel, like
And
you put whiskey and
letting
putting
water
the water
in
in
there.
it for like a week
Which is great.
and
I mean,
selling
awesome,
it for a crap ton
but
of money.
whatever it takes. I'm sure
Yeah.
it imparts a good flavor.
I like this a lot.
Pear.
Yeah.
Definitely pear. Now that as it's getting slightly aerated,
Yeah, I was not sure if I was gonna like this or not because the Quiet Man is a new Irish brand, and like we said, we're not really sure where it's distilled, but it's named after the guy who started its father, who was an Irish bartender, and he was like called the Quiet Man supposedly because he would never tell people secrets. When people would talk to him at the bar, I don't know. I feel like whiskey brands are getting like way too much into like telling the stories about stuff right now.
needlessly obscure with their
Yeah,
background.
exactly. Like I don't know if you've looked at any of the new Highland Park bottles.
I have not.
But so instead of it being like the Highland Park 12, 15, 18 now, it's like Highland Park 12, Warrior, Promise, Highland Park 15.
And then they're
Viking
they're
Honor.
telling the story about the
Yeah, and like all the packaging on it is all just like a story about Vikings and stuff. None of it's about whiskey, which I mean I guess is fine.
That's fine, I
it's
guess.
working for them.
Yeah.
Their business. They're selling a lot of whiskey, but I think it's kind of ridiculous. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah,
to
let's
taste
go.
it. Wow, really smooth. Ooh.
nutty.
Yeah, definitely nutty.
If I could do it, I would.
Ooh, I'm getting a little milk chocolate.
I can see that.
I'm getting a little milk chocolate, and I almost never get chocolate on Irish whiskeys. So I think it's because it's a single malt, and it doesn't have that grain whiskey in there to make it grassy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
That chocolate, that milk chocolate flavor, I think is coming as that back end of the nut.
Yeah.
That nuttiness is kind of gently diffusing. And
Yeah, it's like a bitterness.
Yeah.
It's kind of tasting like chocolate. Now, I don't know if this is in sherry casks or ex-bourbon only. I would guess probably ex-bourbon barrels. But like I said, the rep didn't really seem to know much about this one. Anyway, I want to finish it. Like, I want to finish it all.
Go.
But I feel like I'm going to have to start
Put 'em
pouring
aside.
them back into the little glasses.
I just kind of put them aside.
and set them aside and try and remember which one's which. There's so many whiskeys here.
Yeah, we'd end up doing ourselves a disservice.
Yeah. I'm already thinking I might have to have Sierra come pick me up after this and just leave my car here.
I don't have my own personal ride waiting for me at all.
Now, can I smell your glass? Because I want to smell the Akashi.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I necessarily want to try it. I want to see what else we've got here.
I'm probably going to try it,
It
but
has a syrupiness to it.
Syrupiness? What does this say the Quiet Man retails for? $50? I could totally see spending $50 on that. A lot better than Jameson, like your regular
absolutely.
Jameson. Really, really nice. So
I don't know that I would go out of my way of all the other options available. I'm not sure that this would be top of my list. If I had $50 to spend,
Yeah.
there might be another direction I'd go. But
yeah, but for a lighter,
for a lighter whiskey choice.
I like it a lot. All right, let's see what's
next. And we're back.
So this is Sexton.
Sexton.
And how's this? What's the price on this compared to?
Sexton single malt. This is $25 a bottle.
So this one. So I'll be interested to see how this compares because this is another single malt Irish whiskey, and
my first thought when I saw this was it has got this really deep dark color, which I said for this, especially for this price point, this is artificial. This is definitely this color added to make it feel and look quite a bit older than it really is.
Yeah. Now he said this is the distillery this is being done at Bushmill.
This is definitely being done at Bushmill. Yeah. Smells significantly different.
Yeah. Definitely hotter on the nose too. Like I can smell that.
A little bit of a burn, for sure.
This tastes or smells oakier, like it's more in like charred oak casks. Like it tastes a little. It's got like a little bit of that burnt aroma.
Ooh.
A little rough.
Yeah. I mean, for a $25 bottle?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. $25 is actually, I mean, this is drinkable for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what a star to shoot for, right? It's like, oh, it's drinkable at 25.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be, if someone gave me this at their house, you know, I wouldn't like be trying to like sneak it down the drain or something, you know. I mean, this is totally fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's definitely quite a bit more flavorful than like Jameson, which I think is also $25.
I have to admit, I am not a Jameson fan, so it has been a number of years since I've had any of them. I wouldn't be able to reasonably compare.
Yeah. Now, I don't really like Jameson's standard label. That one's a little rough, but their Black Barrel's pretty nice.
Good.
And this actually kind of reminds me of the Jameson Black Barrel, but that costs $5 more than this. It is better, but I mean, this is totally worth trying if you're an Irish whiskey fan. I think.
Nothing.
If you like Bushmills Irish whiskey, because it's single malt again. So
nothing about the flavor profile is really jumping out at me as
No.
exciting or new or
It's
different.
really boring.
It's exactly, which again is not necessarily a bad thing if you're looking to have something a little bit regular. You know, something for a nightly thing is something that's going to be a little bit more common. That's fine.
Exactly.
Boring can be okay.
I mean, this is a whiskey you just drink. You
Exactly.
don't try to analyze.
Yep. It's just okay. I'm in the mood to have something that is at least palatable.
Now, I'm going to go back to the Quiet Man real quick with what I had saved just to see how different it is. Oh yeah, that's way better.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was without trying it again. That's my personal opinion. Is that the Quiet Man, the 8-year, was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Quite good.
It really is. It's a lot more complexity and it doesn't have that kind of burnt, because you can't smell the alcohol at all in the Quiet Man 8. Now, I think it is only 40% ABV, but still, I mean, that one's definitely, I think the better Irish whiskey for sure. Granted, it's twice the price, but it's definitely twice as good.
Yes, I agree.
So-
Absolutely. That's going to mark down here. What else you've tried here?
Now, what did you get, Kelly?
I made a terrible decision.
Oh, dear.
I got the Grey Wolf salted caramel.
Oh,
What? Okay, and so tell us a little bit about the Grey Wolf salted caramel.
It's whiskey with natural flavors and natural taste.
All right, fair enough.
However, it would be decent in a coffee.
All right,
If
so
you
a
didn't
good
want
mixer.
schnapps, if you wanted it something different type of flavor with that same type of flavor.
yeah.
But it tastes like whiskey.
Nothing wrong with having a good mixer on your shelf.
What's it called? Grey Wolf? Oh, it's not on the list.
All right.
They have a mango habanero one.
Oh dear, mango habanero whiskey.
I mean, marvelous. The flavor profile sounds great for a chicken dish.
or for like potato chips.
Yes.
I've had really good mango habanero potato chips.
But as a drink, I don't know. I'm not sold.
That's like
When I smell the fake nose,
Yeah, right.
that's like you don't want spicy beverages. Like I don't understand why anybody wants to.
All right, so
Oh, I gotta tell this.
imagine maple syrup. And,
Holy cow.
and they managed to add a little bit of flavor to it. And that, honestly, just even on the nose, I smelled it and said, oh, all right, pancakes. Spectacular, thank you.
Yeah, but this is like straight up the sea salt caramel candies that we sell at Dorn's. That I mean, this is pungently caramel
Sweet-
and syrupy.
Sweet
Like,
to the point where you would honestly think it was the start of a candy.
yeah.
I'm going to skip tasting that one.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
so.
guys. I'm sure it'd be entertaining as heck.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm good.
All right, so Nikka coffee grain is our next whiskey on the
Next
list.
sampler here.
And the coffee doesn't refer to flavoring or anything like that abysmal salted caramel
Mess.
atrocity that we just tried. It's actually the still. The guy, his last name was Coffey, who invented the still. So it's Coffey, I think is how it's spelled. And it's a column type still.
Right off the bat, I'm enjoying the nose of this one, possibly the most of the things we've sampled so far. It's almost a little like cigar smoke. It's got like a depth to it. It's very nice.
Yeah, I do get a little bit of like a caramelly kind of.
Some a little sweeter.
Which I almost was like, is that stupid salt? But I didn't pour that in my glass.
No.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And it's not quite that sweet.
No.
Maybe like a burnt sugar, something
Yeah.
like that.
I do think this is a little hot on the nose. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of alcohol, but
Again, because of the size
it's
of
the
the
size of the glass.
I don't know what I'm getting
it's
about or
hard to
not.
tell.
I mean, it's not anywhere close to the Sexton. Where with the Sexton, it was pretty strong.
But I think this is also at like 46% ABV, so it's bottled a little bit higher.
Sitting a little higher.
And Now this is like $70 a bottle, so it's
what it is?
pretty expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, sitting right about 60, 65?
64.
64, 65 dollars a bottle. All right, let's give it a try. Oh, it's got a little kick to it, more than I expected from the nose.
Ooh. I like it though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of tangy.
It's a good word for it. Yeah, that little bit of like almost like a citrus tang sitting.
Yep.
It's got some tingle to it.
Now this doesn't scream like Japanese whiskey to me. It doesn't have like
Agreed.
that like banana, like those really
The
like
bright aromatics.
rainforest
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Compared to some of the Japanese that I've tried, this is I wouldn't necessarily put it in the same. I wouldn't recognize it.
It is good though.
Yeah, nice. Piney?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's like that fresh cut oak
Exactly.
kind of flavor. So clearly it's young whiskey. Now it's probably like 7 or 8 years old. Good.
I like it though. Yeah. All right.
Now she has the hedonism, the compass box hedonism.
We'll end up trying that in a little bit, I think. But
Are you
what do you think?
I like the nose. It's good, but it's still got a little too much burn.
Too much burn.
But the flavor makes it a lot more.
Yeah. I know.
I like the warm vanilla.
Okay.
I think you should try the tradition at some point.
Okay.
The Iwai Tradition. I definitely want to do the compass boxes.
Yeah.
And I want to see if we can go up there and just get like 2 of them. Because I want to try the Asyla and the
Get them.
Oh, this smells nice. So this is Compass Box Asyla, 40% ABV, blended Scotch whiskey. I don't think this is blended malt. I forgot to check, but
We can look for more doing.
so it might have some grain whiskey in it as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. The nose kind of hints at it.
It's really light. It's got that nice like orchard fruit kind of aroma, but a little bit of vanilla.
Hints of vanilla. Yeah. Light, just very, very light.
Yeah, like that green apple kind of. Yeah, so this is natural coloring, and if you go on their website, they'll actually tell you how old all the whiskeys are that are in this.
Okay.
I don't remember, but it's $50 a bottle or $60 a bottle, and
Let's taste
I
and
think
see.
it's around like 10 years old.
I like that a lot.
Yep. That's really good.
That's really tasty.
It's
Grassy?
Yep. Grassy, malty.
Yeah.
Definitely like that Speyside ex-bourbon, like a Glenfiddich 12-year-old, but a lot more flavor to it.
Agreed.
That's really nice. I would buy a bottle of that.
How much was it? 60?
$60. Or at least that's normally what I've seen it for.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Good enough to finish for sure.
Yep. That and if you're just getting into Scotch and you want a really light, super easy drinking Scotch that's very good quality too, like definitely get this. It's a huge step up from other blends, like your Johnny Walker 12-year-old.
Oh, I'm not even in the same
Yeah, this
ballpark.
is just
No, not
way
even close.
super smooth.
This is good.
I'm interested to try the Oak Cross because the Oak Cross uses French oak
Okay.
also. So it'll probably be a little bit, have a little bit of a different flavor to it.
What do we got here? We've got the Oak Cross. This is the Oak Cross.
So definitely darker. Still a pretty light whiskey, but
I am always happier to see a lighter whiskey. I don't like when they feel the need to artificially age it by putting in the color. I just don't understand.
But it definitely lets us know it's not sherry cask.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be darker. But again, only because we know that it's natural.
Not exactly.
Ooh. Definitely got a spicier.
Much spicier. Ooh, like.
This reminds me more like that Nikka, the Nikka coffee grain.
This is much brighter.
Yeah.
Again, it's got some citrus notes almost even to the nose.
And I get more of the like toasted oak.
Yeah. Which isn't surprising.
And caramel a little bit. This one's really nice. Definitely more powerful than the Asyla.
Without a doubt.
Let's see. Yeah, a lot spicier on the finish. A lot more oak coming out. A little more nuttiness.
Yeah.
It doesn't have those same like green fruits.
Not at all. Yeah, this doesn't have that sweet back end from the fruits, not at all. It's making my lips pucker just a little bit, so I'm thinking again it's like that lemon right on the finish. It's something really bright citrus. Extremely, it's oakier for sure.
The Asyla is definitely the easier drinking of these two.
No question.
But and there is a bug in mine.
Oh, that's crying shame.
Well, he died happy. He is drowning in scotch right now.
There are worse ways to go.
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate. I wanted to drink the rest of this.
So what is the price point for this one?
$60 also.
Okay, so I was going to say, at the same price point, again, this is one that I wouldn't mind. I'd purchase a bottle of this as well.
Yeah, I think I like the Oak Cross a little bit more, but I would not give this to someone that was just trying.
Someone new who was looking to get, it's like an intro into whiskeys.
Because it's definitely more powerful.
It hits the palate a lot heavier.
Sure.
See, and I was thinking exactly the opposite. A lot of the whiskeys that I tend to prefer have a little bit more of that heavy, deep flavor profile. So I almost thought that I would go with the one we just finished. I would buy a bottle of that first just because I wouldn't mind having something a little bit lighter on my shelf.
Yeah. I'm excited to try this Hedonism though. I think is the next one we've got here.
Okay.
Because I have been wanting to try the Hedonism for a long time. So this is a single grain whiskey, which you can't really find that easily. There's only a few grain distilleries in Scotland, and they're pretty much only putting their stuff out for blends. They're not really bottling it as is very often, and certainly you're not finding aged, really well aged grain whiskeys. But when you do, they tend to be a lot cheaper to comparably price single malts.
Okay.
So I have to look this up on their site, but I believe. Actually, I'm not allowed to say how old this is, but you can look it up on their website. I'm not allowed to say it because
why aren't
that it would break their clause with the Scotch Whisky Association.
Okay.
So because it's a non-age statement whiskey,
Okay.
they're not allowed to advertise in any way
How old
their whiskeys are, or have that in like public material. But if you go on their website,
It's there.
You can request them to give you the information, and they will email it to you.
So I'm sure you've gone over this with the listeners before, but the difference between single malt and single grain.
So the grain whiskeys are just it can be wheat or rye, like those are all grains, right? So most single grain whiskey still means single is referring to a single distillery. but it can be made up of multiple grains. Single malt means that it's a single distillery and it's all 100% malted barley. So that's the same thing. Like you have 5 types of Scotch. You've got single malt, you have blended malt, you have blended Scotch, you have single grain, and then you have blended grain. So single grain is one distillery, mostly wheat because that's the cheapest to make, but it can have some barley in there as well.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Here we go. Very sweet. This hits you with caramel and vanilla right off the bat.
Yeah, like even like some like sugar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just sweet.
You liked this. Now you thought this one was a little too the hedonism. It was a little too strong for you, right?
Maybe yes, but I'm whiskey like.
I really wish I had a bigger pour and a smaller glass, because these glasses do make it pretty hard
to get a proper and actual scenting. Yeah.
Still better than smelling the plastic on the mini glasses.
They were just, some of these are just infused with that awful toxic plastic smell. It does not make for a good nose. That was not what I was expecting compared to the nose. Good though, very good.
It's very good. Very light, creamy.
That's a good way to put it.
I get a little bit of like hay kind of flavor.
See, I was thinking grassy, so
yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. Really like fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh, the fresh grass.
Definitely tannic at the end, so I can tell it's well aged. Because my mouth is getting pretty dry. Very, very subtle. I really wish I was trying this in like a fresh glass, and because I feel like there's a lot more you could get out of it.
I'm sure people are watching and feeling very bad for us.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry that you've got to have your bigger glass.
I might have to buy a bottle of this at some point.
Oh, okay, so
I saw one for like $90.
What was the price point for this one? The average price point?
It's like 90 to 110, depending on where you find it.
Okay.
I don't think it's on the list.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It is not on the list. I wanted to check. Okay.
I really like it, but it's definitely too light of a whiskey to taste well in a big.
It is so subtle, absolutely so subtle. My gut instinct is to say I like the nose more than I like the actual flavor, but that's not necessarily true. I want this in a more controlled, proper environment, so I can really get a feel for it.
Yeah. I'm getting some dried fruit on the second time. Just a little bit, but this is more towards like towards those hay, grassy.
Yeah, that's
oak, but not like spicy oak. Some vanilla creaminess.
Nope.
Really, really nice.
Ume plum is kind of it's a type of plum eaten in Japanese culture. They actually pickle it, and so I'm interested to see how the ume flavor comes through along with the whiskey. And what's interesting is you can definitely smell it. It smells like ume plum.
Oh yeah. So I don't really know what ume plum smells like. I haven't had it, but I could tell there was some sort of plummy.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's almost like a little briny, a little salty, and then you got that sweet plum scent in the background as well.
So I know a lot of Japanese whiskeys are made with Mizunara oak, and they use that to make a Japanese plum wine. Would that be made from the ume
plum? Honestly, I couldn't tell you for sure.
You know?
I don't know whether or not. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it, but it's possible. Yeah, I have to admit.
Just because they're so small. I mean, they make wine from grapes. Grapes are pretty small, but I guess those grow in clumps, so you probably need a lot of land to make plum wine.
Okay, so this is sweet. If you've ever had a plum wine, it's more along the lines of a plum wine than it is in that mouthfeel and flavor of an actual whiskey. If I were going to compare this, it'd be like drinking a port wine as opposed to just a regular red. It's just got that deep sweetness to it. It tastes like Ume plum. That's all I got here.
So I'm on the 1920 Old Forester Prohibition. So Old Forester was the only, I think they're the only distillery that's like never shut down for bourbon. I could be wrong about that. They were at least open before Prohibition, stayed open during Prohibition, selling their whiskey as medicine, which I find hilarious. But I think Buffalo Trace got a way of doing that as well. So this is supposedly like the style of their whiskey from them. And it's really, I mean, this smells great. Someone just lit something.
Cigarette, I think.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, man, this smells, all of a sudden, this smells like a cigarette.
I had a similar problem earlier. Someone lit a cigar right nearby, and I'm like, oh, this is, oh, well, no, that's not true.
I do think we should get some cigars at some point.
We'll definitely get there.
Should have had you drink it.
They've got to have a cutter in there, though, don't they? Pretty good. What is it you're drinking again?
The 1920 Prohibition.
Okay, gotcha.
Old Forester. I mean, I have no idea. It's probably just marketing, like that it's their recipe from pre-Prohibition, because it pretty much tastes like every other bourbon. I will say, I was talking to the rep, and he said that one's done with like just toasted oak, and the Statesman that I'm about to try is with like the heavily charred oak. So I like that 1920 a lot. It's really, really smooth. It's mild, sweet. It's not too sweet. Tastes like a pretty typical bourbon mash bill, like 70% corn, 20% barley, 10% rye.
All right, and so next what I've got here is, I think it's the Iwai Tradition.
Yeah.
Which is, again, another Japanese.
I think it's a blend. I don't think it's a...
I believe you're correct. I believe it's... the rep was basically telling you that it's closer to a Scotch, at least in terms of flavor profile, so I'll be interested to see what's going on here.
Yeah, I think it's a blended malt.
And I will tell you, at least in this glass, it's got some heat to it.
Yep. I remember liking that whiskey a lot. Like that's what I think of as Japanese whiskey, very much so. But with a heavy, I think it's got a lot of sherry.
And I can see that it's got that sweet smokiness to it that I would expect from sherry. A little spicy as well.
So the Statesman is definitely a lot bolder, definitely oakier. I think this one's at the hotter part in the warehouse and also with a heavier charred barrels.
Okay.
So, oh, I like that a lot. Which is, I did not expect since they made it for a movie. I thought it would be like garbage, but.
This, okay, they don't have this on the list. Do you have any idea what the Tradition would go for a bottle? What the cost point would be? 55? Worth 55. Definitely sherry.
Pretty sure it's
definitely
55.
Sherry influenced, no question. It's got that deep cherry, the sweet cherry flavor, and smoky. Quite a bit of heat to it still, but a depth of flavor, which actually is surprising. This definitely matches a little bit better with some of the other Japanese whiskeys I've tried.
Yeah, man, this Statesman is really good. It's way bolder, like way oakier from the char on the barrels, but that's tasty. Really heavy vanilla and caramel and coffee.
See, this is fruitier rather than anything else. The Traditional definitely hits a little bit more on the fruit notes. I'm
a little sad there's there was nobody here with like one bottle of really
Something,
old scotch
something
or
exciting, yeah, something really bold.
But to be fair, these are like $20 tickets. Not most of the events that you're gonna have that kind of stuff is gonna be like $100 plus. But I was still hoping when I got here early that there'd
Maybe
be
there'd be
like somebody who's like, I've got like a little, you know,
Just a starter.
Yeah.
Like I've got the end of a bottle, and congratulations on being number 3 or 4 this year.
Alright guys, so we're wrapping up because it's getting pretty dark and the music's getting really loud. They're about to do the cocktail competition, but I just want to give you guys a quick hitter on the last 4. So the Corsair Quinoa is, I mean, bizarre. It actually smells like quinoa. Really, really interesting. Delicious. I'm not sure how much it costs, but if you want something very unique, try that. We've also got the Hudson Baby Bourbon, which is okay, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $60 a bottle, and it's only 2 years old, and it smells like it's 2 years old. I don't know, not wild about it. I also picked up a Jack Daniel's rye, single barrel rye. And it's got a really nice nose. I don't really like anything else Jack Daniel makes, but I mean, this single barrel rye, the finish is a little harsh, but I really like it. It's a very sweet rye, very sweet rye. So it kind of reminds me of like a Whistle Pig 10-year-old or something. And the last thing that I got is this Sea Fog smoked barley from Rhode Island, which really smells bizarre. It smells really like Jura, so I'm actually probably not going to drink it because I don't like that Jura. It smells exactly like Jura Prophecy to me, and I know that I don't like that already. So anyway, thank you, Brandon, for joining me tonight.
My pleasure. Happy back anytime.
He'll be back on the channel for sure, and I'm sure you guys already can't hear me over the music. So as always,